Hello, this is Nick from Prestman Auto. I am stepping in to help out Matt just a little bit, real quick, getting that video walkthrough of our 2023 F-350 for you. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna walk all the way around. We're gonna check for any dents, scratches, any kind of blemishes on the outside. Then we're gonna go inside, go over some of the features, make sure everything's, working properly. And then finally, we're gonna pop the hood and evaluate just a little bit in the engine bay, just for good measure. So first impressions are really solid, not gonna lie. Normally you'd expect to see a little bit of rock chipping up here in the front, just because that's where it usually is. But I'm not seeing anything, so we're starting off clean. So if I do see anything while we're going around, I'll be sure to stop, zoom in, make sure you get a good visual so you know everything going on. But starting off, tires on here, you got loads of life left in those, so that's awesome. Got your mud flaps and stuff down there. Always a pleasure for a work truck. Looks like you got a little rock chip right in there. So very small, but nonetheless, good to know, good to know. A couple more right over here. So nothing compared to what I imagine you're gonna do with it, but again, good to know. Couple minor things right in here, so just feels like, I think that, yeah, so it's not chipping the paint, so that's not going to be anything too crazy, more of a scuff than anything else. So popping the trunk with the key fob right here. You do have that dampened tailgate, and you were also prepped for a fifth wheel, so that's awesome. Got a couple plugs over here. Looking good. So while we're out here, here's a quick look around some of our lot. So over here is a little bit gravelly. We actually just bought up the land over here, so sorry Pat's Barbecue, but until it's paved, we're gravel. Otherwise, way down there, that is our building. So all these cars are ours, and then we actually have cars on the other side of that building as well. So we sell more cars here than any independent dealer in the state. We've been around for 34 plus, or I think we're coming up on 34. I think we're at 33 years right now. So it's not like super important, but I feel like when you're buying from out of state, it's nice to know a little bit about who you're working with. You know, we didn't just start up and figuring out what we're doing. Like, we're a little more tried and true than that. So anyway, moving on. Got oh, never mind. That one's just dirt. Okay, never mind. All right. Well, definitely nothing major out here. This looks awesome. As far as the exterior goes, I'll give it a 9.5 out of 10. I know the accident on this one was up here, so we're gonna check the seams real quick. So looking pretty solid, nothing super crazy there. And let's check the other side. Seams up here. Again, pretty sweet. So let's hop inside and see what we can find on the interior. Fortunately, it has the running boards. It's kind of tall. All right, so first things first, let's turn the car on. I'm gonna leave the camera up here, so if there's any kind of warning lights popping up, you'll be the first to know. Return to tow. Not right now. All right. So everything up here looks super solid. You got two lights up. The first is the brake light, and the second is the seatbelt light, both of which are correct. Other than that, everything looks pretty sweet. Let's look at a couple things real quick. Towing, status and information. Let's see that. Seatbelts, engine information, engine hours, engine idle. Cool. So pretty solid up there. As far as features go on the interior, we have a lot of them. So I'm gonna go a little bit fast just so this video isn't like 50 minutes long. But starting off, you do have the ventilated seats, which are a pleasure. We love those. Your AC is also blowing and is blowing. Let's check, make sure it's blowing cold real quick. Thank you very much. Let's turn it up. There we go. And it does blow cold, so that is very much so appreciated this time of year as well. You got four-wheel drive, you got your trailering and towing, all that stuff. Pretty straightforward there. You're also going to have heated seats and heated steering wheel. I'm gonna opt for the the cooled seats this time of year. You can check your audio system real quick. Let's turn on the radio.
99% network reliability.
Okay, yes, you have a very good speaker system. What brand is this? That's Bose. Okay, that tracks. You have a very good speaker system. You're also gonna have your camera system up here, and on and on and on. So this big display is where most of your, fun stuff's gonna be. So you have a navigation system up here, you have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, whichever you'd prefer. If it's missing something, you could download the app for that. And then other features, you have plenty of things up here. You can tinker around with your towing, your running boards, your zone lighting, and on and on and on. So I won't belabor the point. We could, like I said, we could sit here all day and poke around at all the fun things there are up here. Freaking valet mode. If you have, my friends and I, we have a joke. If you have a valet mode in your car, you're cool. That's kind of just the general vibe. But other than that, you got plugins down here. You have a wireless phone charger, push button start up here, adaptive cruise control, and on and on. So just dotting our I's and crossing our T's here. Windows roll down, windows roll up. Beautiful, beautiful. Other side, down and up. Magnificent. You also have your auxiliaries up here. So if you ever want to tinker around with those, you're more than welcome to. Up here is the control for the back window. Pretty sweet there. You have your seat presets. You can extend your mirrors. You can fold them in. You have the blind spot monitor up in the mirrors as well. I don't know if you can see that little logo up there. There you go. So, you have no shortage of things to play with here. As far as interior condition goes, it's really freaking good. I'm not seeing any rips, any dents, any tears, any stains, any discoloration, really anything. So, you got a butt ton of space down in there, so that's sweet. As well as more plugins, in case you didn't have enough already. Back seat, same story, extremely well taken care of. So, 10 out of 10 there. But for the sake of time, we'll probably call that there. Let's pop that in the engine bay. We'll check that out real quick, and that should be good for our video. All right, so I don't know how mechanically inclined you are or aren't, but regardless of how much you know about cars, you should always look under the hood of any vehicle you're looking to buy. The reason being, even if you don't know anything under here, you at least know what neglect looks like. So if you've got like acid buildup all around the batteries, if all your metal pieces are just like brown and covered in rust, and you got like spider webs and junk all over everything, then, I'd probably ask some more questions at that point. That being said, this is fantastic. Very, very well taken care of. There's really not even dust on it. So all your metal pieces are in great repair. Yeah, honestly, I mean, I know the accident was on the front end here, but I'm not even seeing any remnants of that. Like, it might have just been like a bumper headlight sort of situation where like it was paid off from like an insurance dispute or something, because there's really not anything here that I'm seeing at all. It looks great. So anyway, if you are mechanically inclined, we can go into a little bit more detail, but we'll keep this video pretty user-friendly for now. Suffice to say, when you pop the hood of an engine bay, this is exactly what you want to see. If you have any other questions or there's something that I missed that you'd like to see, just let me know. I'm happy to show you anything on here. But for now, this is your new truck.